Celtic vs St Mirren, Scottish Premiership, live match highlights commentary. Emotional tribute overshadows sluggish Celtic performance. A day that began with heartfelt farewells to Lisbon Lions legends John Clarke and John Fallon, followed by the triumphant unfurling of Paul McStay's championship banner, was meant to lift spirits. Instead, Celtic struggled for large stretches and only scraped past St Mirren with an 87th-minute winner from substitute Luke McCowan. And this is the part most people miss, how a dogged defensive display almost left the holders staring at a draw. Celtic ultimately claimed a 1-0 win to kick off their Scottish Premiership season at Celtic Park, but the manner of victory will leave Rodgers demanding more. Despite dominating possession, over 76% of the ball, and registering 6 shots on target, they fashioned few clear chances. New signing Benjamin Nygren came closest when he met a low Diazan Maeda cross, only to see his strike tipped onto the post by goalkeeper Shamal George, who then blocked the rebound. After a largely forgettable first half, Celtic raised their intensity after the break and even thought they had broken the deadlock when skipper Callum McGregor turned in a through ball. VAR intervened, however, ruling the goal out for handball in the build-up. Frustration crept over the home crowd as another golden opportunity vanished. St Mirren deserve enormous credit for their defensive resilience. The back three of Richard King, Alex Gogic and Marcus Fraser stood firm under constant pressure, making crucial blocks and clearances, while George, on loan from Wycombe Wanderers, produced several fine saves to keep his side in contention. Stephen Robinson's men soaked up wave after wave of attacks until late on, when McCowan unleashed a thunderous drive from the edge of the box that took a hefty deflection off Mark O'Hara and looped beyond George's reach. One major talking point will be Celtic's conspicuous absence of a proven goalscorer. Adam Ida was handed the starting striker role but rarely threatened, frequently caught offside and unable to convert promising positions. With no new forward arriving this summer, questions will inevitably swirl over whether Ida can lead the line long-term. On the positive side, Kieran Tierney's home comeback offered plenty of his trademark pace and precision down the left. The former Arsenal man looked sharp before departing minutes after the hour with a knock, though Rodgers later confirmed it was minor. Key stats underline Celtic's frustration: 76% possession, 3 shots against the woodwork, 6 on target, yet almost 1 goal. St Mirren, despite mustering just under 24% possession and completing only 41 final third passes, boasted 32 recoveries, 48 clearances and 9 interceptions. Rodgers acknowledged his side's persistence, noting that they played their system very well, and that he was really pleased for a first game of the season. Stephen Robinson admitted his players were disappointed, not to take a point, but proud of their work rate and organization. Up next, St Mirren return home to face Motherwell on Saturday, while Celtic travel to Aberdeen on Sunday, before focusing on Monday's Champions League playoff draw. So what's your verdict? Is this lackluster victory a warning sign for Celtic's title defense, or just a slow start blip they'll quickly rectify? Should Rodgers dip back into the transfer market for a main striker, or back Adam Ida to find his scoring boots? Let us know where you stand in the comments. Celtic 1-0 St Mirren. Luke McCowan scores late winner in Scottish Premiership opener. A narrow victory kicked off Celtic's campaign to defend their Scottish Premiership title with a 1-0 win against St Mirren that was dramatic and full of missed opportunities. Despite their dominance, Celtic struck the woodwork 4 times at Celtic Park, highlighting how close they came to a more comfortable margin. This result continues a remarkable trend. Celtic have started their league seasons victorious in 17 of the past 18 campaigns, demonstrating a consistency that fans and analysts alike have come to expect. Rodgers' team thought they had secured the win when captain Callum McGregor expertly finished a chance 20 minutes before full-time. However, after a quick review via VAR, the goal was disallowed due to a handball infringement, leaving players and supporters on edge. Less than 10 minutes later, chaos ensued as Luke McCowan responded with a fortunate goal, his shot taking a significant deflection that deceived Celtic's goalkeeper, Shamal George. The ball snaked into the bottom right corner, sealing the narrow victory for St Mirren. Before this late drama, Celtic had been relentless in attacking, with several close calls. Dyson Maeda's early opportunity was squandered when he chose to pass instead of shooting into an open goal after rounding the goalkeeper, an instance that frustrated fans and analysts alike. Later in the first half, debutant Benjamin Nygren managed to force a save that touched the crossbar. Keeping Celtic at bay, the second half saw multiple near misses. Reo Hatate hit the post twice, and McGregor's goal was disallowed after a VAR check confirmed the ball hit his arm beforehand. An additional chance for Celtic came when Adam Ida struck the post, and at that point it appeared the game might slip away from them. But Luke McCowan's late strike changed the narrative, securing all 3 points for St Mirren and proving that sometimes perseverance and a bit of luck matter most in football. Sky Sports football expert Chris Boyd pointed out that Celtic's performance was below their usual high standards. While they snagged the win, always crucial at the start of the season, he emphasized that the team's display was not at the level expected for champions. Boyd noted that Celtic's real strength lies in their ability to win even when they aren't playing their best, citing McCowan's knack for coming off the bench and making impacts as a key ingredient of their long-term dominance in Scottish football. Meanwhile, Celtic manager Brendan Rodgers remained optimistic, praising the team's resilience and persistence. He highlighted the numerous saves made by the goalkeeper, the quality of their football, and the importance of that winning mentality. Rodgers also hinted at potential squad changes before the transfer window closes, stating they'd focus on current players but remain open to new additions. St Mirren's boss Stephen Robinson expressed disappointment over the result despite recognizing his team's good performance. He acknowledged that Celtic would make tactical changes and bring new energy off the bench. But his team held their own, even riding some luck with Celtic's near misses. Robinson defended his side's effort, saying they believed they could upset the hosts, and expressed a desire to build on this performance and secure points in upcoming matches. The Scottish Premiership continues to unfold with fixture lists available for fans eager to follow their team's progress. Will Celtic maintain their winning ways despite these early challenges? Or is this a sign of competitive trouble ahead? And how much does luck really play a role in such tight results? Share your thoughts and predictions in the comments. Football's unpredictable nature always keeps the debates lively. Scottish Premiership. Celtic leave it late while Hibernian add to Dundee's woes. The drama of Scottish football. Last gap Celtic victory headlines Premiership opening weekend. Can you feel the tension of a match where victory hangs in the balance until the final moments? That's exactly what Celtic fans experienced, as their champions needed an 87th-minute savior to break the deadlock in their season opener. Substitute Luke McCowan emerged as the unlikely hero against a stubborn St Mirren side at Parkhead, finally giving Celtic their first 3 points of the new campaign. McCowan's decisive moment came when he received a perfectly weighted pass from Dyson Maeda on the crowded penalty area's edge. His shot took a fortunate deflection off Mark O'Hara's leg, sending the ball spinning unstoppably into the bottom corner and igniting celebrations throughout the stadium. Before this breakthrough, frustration had been building for the home supporters. The champions had been repeatedly denied by the woodwork, with Benjamin Nygren, Reo Hatate, and Adam Ida all watching in disbelief as their efforts struck the frame of the goal. Adding to their irritation, Captain Callum McGregor had earlier seen a potential opener disallowed following a VAR review. Celtic manager Brendan Rodgers expressed satisfaction at his team's perseverance against difficult opposition. "It is a challenging fixture, and I considered it an excellent victory," he remarked. "They are an exceptionally well-organized side. Our task was simply to maintain our persistence, which we successfully accomplished. But here's where the weekend gets even more interesting. At Dens Park, a tale of contrasting fortunes unfolded as Hibernian overcame their European fatigue to heap additional misery on Dundee and their new manager Stephen Pressley with a 2-1 triumph. The victory proved particularly impressive, considering Hibs had endured an exhausting 120-minute European battle against Midtjylland just days earlier. Scotland international Kieran Bowie became the standout performer, delivering a devastating 3-minute double strike in the first half to put the visitors firmly in control. His clinical finishing established a commanding platform that Hibernian would never relinquish. Dundee, desperately seeking to generate positive momentum after an embarrassing Premier Sports Cup campaign that featured humiliating defeats to lower league opponents Airdrie and Alloa, briefly sparked hopes of a comeback when Finlay Robertson quickly responded with a goal. However, Hibs professionally managed the second period, securing their victory with minimal drama. Hibernian manager David Gray couldn't hide his admiration for his squad's professional approach. "I'm absolutely delighted because following everything our players invested on Thursday night, everyone would naturally question whether today's performance might suffer from fatigue," he explained. "The players responded in the most professional manner possible. In my assessment, we dominated proceedings from beginning to end." The weekend's most entertaining spectacle arguably took place at Falkirk Stadium, where the newly promoted hosts twice demonstrated remarkable resilience to secure a 2-2 draw against established Premiership side Dundee United. The emotional pre-match ceremony saw Falkirk's championship flag unfurled before their passionate supporters, commemorating their return to Scotland's top division after a 15-year absence. The celebration nearly turned sour when, against the flow of play, Max Rodgers stunned the home crowd in the 39th minute with a spectacular 14-yard volley to score his inaugural goal for United. The hosts refused to be intimidated by the occasion or the setback. Dylan Tate leveled the contest.